Please, Rachel, my sister begs on my doorstep. Brandon lost his job. We are 3 months behind on the mortgage. The kids' private school is threatening to expel them. You have to help us. I look at her designer clothes, now a season old. At her luxury SUV in my driveway with the repo notice on the windshield. Help you? Like you helped Emma when she wanted to come to Madison's birthday party? That was different. I was trying to maintain standards. Standards? You told my 7-year-old daughter there was no room for discount store kids at your party. You made her cry on your doorstep while your friends laughed. Rachel, I apologize for that. No, you made excuses, and now you want me, the sister with the discount store kids, to save your mansion and your private school tuition? I smile. There is no room for entitled snobs at the store. Goodbye, Victoria. But let me back up. Let me tell you about the birthday party and what happened when my sister decided my children were not good enough for hers. I grew up in my sister's shadow, and I never minded until I had children of my own. Victoria was 5 years older than me, beautiful and ambitious in ways I never was. She married Brandon Chen right out of college. He came from money, worked in finance, and gave her exactly the life she always wanted. Big house in the suburbs, luxury cars, designer everything. I married my high school sweetheart Tom. He was a mechanic. I was a teacher. We lived in a small 3-bedroom house, drove practical cars, and budgeted carefully for everything. Victoria had 2 kids, Madison and Preston. Private school, tennis lessons, French tutors, family vacations to Europe. Her kids were designer clothes and had birthday parties that cost more than our monthly mortgage. I had 2 kids, Emma and Jake. Public school, library books, family game nights. My kids were clothes from Target and Old Navy. Their birthday parties were in our backyard with homemade cake. For years, this difference did not matter. We lived our separate lives. Victoria in her world of wealth and status, me in my world of comfort and simplicity. We saw each other at family gatherings, Thanksgiving, Christmas, occasional dinners at our parents' house. Victoria would talk about her kids' achievements. I would smile and nod. Our kids would play together awkwardly, aware somehow that they existed in different stratospheres. But I never felt bad about our life. Tom and I worked hard. We paid our bills. We gave our kids love and attention and stability. We were happy. Then Emma turned 7, and everything changed. Madison was turning 12 that spring. Victoria was throwing her a huge birthday party. A tween celebration, she called it. Rented venue, catered food, DJ, professional photographer. She talked about it for months. It is going to be the event of the season, she said at Christmas dinner. Madison invited her whole class plus friends from tennis and dance. About 50 kids total. That sounds expensive, I said. Victoria waved her hand dismissively. You only turned 12 once. Besides, Brandon just got a huge bonus. We can afford to do this right. Emma was sitting next to Madison, listening with wide eyes. That sounds so fun, she said shyly. I wish I could see it. Madison looked at her. Well, obviously you are invited. You are my cousin. Emma's face lit up. Really? Sure. It is going to be amazing. There is going to be a photo booth and a candy bar and everything. Emma talked about nothing else for weeks. She was so excited. Madison was 5 years older, cool and sophisticated in Emma's 7-year-old eyes. Being invited to her party felt like being invited into a secret club. I should have known better. I should have seen it coming. The party was on a Saturday in April. Emma had picked out her best outfit, a purple dress from Target that she loved, with white sneakers that were almost new. She had made Madison a birthday card with markers and stickers, spending hours on it to make it perfect. Do I look okay, Mom? She asked, spinning in front of the mirror. You look beautiful, sweetheart. Will the other kids be dressed like me? I hesitated. I knew the other kids would be wearing expensive designer clothes, but I did not want Emma to feel self-conscious. Everyone will be dressed differently. You look perfect. We drove to the venue, an upscale event space downtown that probably cost more than I made in a month. The parking lot was full of luxury cars. Parents in designer clothes were dropping off kids who looked like they had stepped out of a fashion magazine. Emma clutched her card, suddenly quiet. You okay, baby? Yeah, I am just nervous. You will have fun. Madison will be so happy you came. We walked to the entrance. Through the glass doors, I could see decorations, balloons, flowers, a huge setup that looked more like a wedding than a kid's birthday party. Victoria was standing at the entrance, greeting guests. She was wearing what I guessed was $1,000 dress, her hair and makeup perfect. When she saw us approaching, something flickered across her face. "Rachel," she said, her smile not quite reaching her eyes. "I did not expect you. Emma is here for the party," I said. Madison invited her. Victoria looked at Emma, then at me, then back at Emma. Her expression was calculating, cold. "Actually, about that," she said, stepping outside and closing the door behind her so Emma could not hear what was happening inside. "There has been a mix-up." "What kind of mix-up?" "The party is at capacity. Fire code. We cannot have any more kids." I looked through the glass. There was plenty of room inside. "Victoria," Madison invited Emma. "She has been looking forward to this for weeks. I understand, but this is a sophisticated event. The other children are from Madison's school, her social circle. It is important for her to cultivate the right relationships." "The right relationships?" "She is 12. Victoria leaned in closer, lowering her voice. "Rachel, look at Emma. Look at what she is wearing. Target dress, cheap sneakers. The other children will notice. They will judge her. I am trying to protect her from embarrassment." My blood went cold. "You are not protecting her. You are embarrassing her right now." "I am being realistic. Madison is at a different level socially. Emma would not fit in with these children. It would be uncomfortable for everyone. She is 7 years old, Victoria. She is your niece, and I love her. But there is no room for." Victoria glanced at Emma, then back at me. Her expression was pure disdain. "There is no room for your discount store kids at this party. This is for Madison's real friends, the ones who matter." The words hit me like a physical blow. I looked at Emma. She had heard. Her eyes were wide with shock and hurt. "You did not mean that," I said, giving Victoria one chance to take it back. "I meant every word. Now please leave. You are blocking the entrance." Emma's face crumpled. She turned and ran back toward the car, the birthday card falling from her hand onto the pavement. I picked up the card, looked at all the careful work Emma had put into it. The hearts and stars and the message written in her careful 7-year-old handwriting. "Happy birthday, Madison. You are the best cousin. Love, Emma." I looked at Victoria. She would not meet my eyes. "You just broke your niece's heart," I said quietly. "Over clothes, over money, over your need to impress people who do not matter. Get off the property, Rachel, before I call security." I walked back to the car. Emma was in the back seat, sobbing. Jake, who was 5, was trying to comfort her and failing. "Why did Aunt Victoria say that?" Emma cried. "Why are we discount store kids? What does that even mean?" I had no answer. I drove home in silence, listening to my daughter cry, and felt something crack open inside my chest. Emma cried for hours that night. She did not understand what she had done wrong, why her aunt had been so cruel, why being from Target made her not good enough. "Am I embarrassing?" she asked me at bedtime, her eyes red and swollen. "No, baby, you are perfect." Aunt Victoria was wrong. She was cruel and shallow and wrong. But why did she say it? Are we poor? We are not poor. We have everything we need. We just do not spend money on expensive things. The other kids do. The other kids' parents have different priorities. But that does not make you less than them. Do you understand? She nodded, but I could see she did not believe me. The damage was done. Over the next few weeks, Emma changed. She became self-conscious about her clothes. She stopped wanting to go to family gatherings. She asked if we could shop somewhere nicer than Target. "Why?" I asked gently. "So people do not make fun of me." "Who is making fun of you?" "Nobody." But Aunt Victoria said discount store kids do not fit in. So maybe if I do not wear discount store clothes, I will fit in. My heart broke. My 7-year-old was internalizing my sister's cruelty, learning to be ashamed of who she was. I called Victoria. She did not answer. I sent texts. She ignored them. I showed up at her house. She would not open the door. Finally, 2 weeks after the party, she responded with a text. "I am sorry Emma was upset, but I stand by my decision. Some lessons need to be learned about social appropriateness." I showed the text to Tom. He read it. His jaw clenched. "We are done with her. We do not need people like that in our kids' lives. She is my sister. She is a monster, and I will not let her hurt our kids again." He was right, but it still hurt. Victoria and I had not been close. but she was family. And now that relationship was over because she valued status over kindness. I thought that was the end of it, that we would just stop seeing Victoria and her family, that life would go on. I was wrong. Victoria was not done. Over the next year, things got worse with Victoria before they got better for us. She told our parents her version of the party incident, that I had tried to force Emma into a sophisticated event she was not dressed appropriately for, that I was bitter about Victoria's success, that I was teaching my children to resent people with money. Our parents, who had always favored Victoria, believed her. They started making comments about how I was too sensitive and needed to let go of grudges. At Thanksgiving, Mom pulled me aside. Why are you doing this to Victoria? She feels terrible about the misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? Mom. She called my kids discount store kids to their faces. She made Emma cry on her doorstep. She says she was trying to protect Emma from feeling out of place with older, wealthier children. That you misunderstood her intentions. I did not misunderstand anything. She was cruel, deliberately cruel. Mom sighed. Rachel, you have always been jealous of Victoria, ever since you were little. Maybe this is more about that than what actually happened. I left Thanksgiving early. Emma and Jake had not wanted to come anyway, afraid of seeing Madison and Preston. We went home and had our own dinner, just the four of us. It was better than being with people who did not believe me. Victoria started posting on social media about family drama, about sisters who could not be happy for each other's success, about teaching children gratitude instead of entitlement. Everyone who knew her assumed she was the victim. I was the jealous sister who could not handle her success. I stopped trying to defend myself. What was the point? People who knew me knew the truth. People who believed Victoria were not worth my energy. Instead, I focused on my kids, on rebuilding Emma's confidence, on teaching both of them that their worth was not determined by price tags or social status. No, it took time. Emma struggled for months with her self-image, but slowly, with therapy and love and constant reassurance, she started to heal. And something else happened. Tom and I started talking about our finances, about our goals, about what we wanted for our family. I do not want the kids to ever feel that way again, Tom said one night, about not being good enough, about not fitting in. We cannot control other people's cruelty, but we can control our circumstances. We can build something better. Tom had been working at the same auto shop for 10 years. He was skilled, knowledgeable, respected, but he worked for someone else, made someone else rich while earning an hourly wage. What if I opened my own shop? He said. That is a big risk. I know, but I have been thinking about it for years. And after what Victoria said about discount store kids, I realized something. I do not want to prove her right. I want to prove her wrong. We talked late into the night, crunched numbers, made plans. It was risky, scary. We would have to take out loans, use our savings, work harder than we ever had. But we decided to do it. Tom opened his own auto repair shop 2 months later. Modest place, small building, just him and one employee at first. We named it Tom's Honest Auto, a promise that he would do good work at fair prices. The first year was brutal. Long hours, financial stress, constant worry about whether we would make it. I picked up summer school teaching to bring in extra money. We ate rice and beans. We drove our old cars until they barely ran. We sacrificed everything to make the business work. But slowly, it started to succeed. Tom's reputation for honest work spread. Customers came back, brought friends, left good reviews. The business grew. By year 2, Tom hired 2 more mechanics. By year 3, he was turning a profit. By year 4, he was doing well enough that I did not need to work summers anymore. And I did not need to work summers because something else had changed too. During those hard years, I started a side business, tutoring at first, just to make extra money. But I was good at it, really good. Parents started recommending me. I started getting more clients than I could handle. So I expanded, hired other tutors, built a small company, Rachel's Learning Center, tutoring and test prep for students of all levels. By the time Emma was 11, the same age Madison had been when she humiliated Emma, my tutoring business was bringing in more than my teaching salary had. Tom and I were doing well, not rich, but comfortable, stable, growing. We bought a bigger house, not as big as Victoria's mansion, but nice. 4 bedrooms, good neighborhood, great school district. We bought new cars, practical but new. We took the kids on a real vacation. Disney World, something we had never been able to afford before. And we did it all without help from anyone, without my parents, without Victoria. We built our success from nothing. Emma was thriving, confident again, happy. She had friends who valued her for who she was. She did not care about designer clothes anymore. She cared about art and books and soccer. Jake was doing great too. Neither of them remembered the party incident as anything more than a bad memory. The shame Victoria had tried to instill in them had been replaced with pride in their parents' hard work and success. Life was good, better than good. And then I heard through the family grapevine that Victoria's perfect life was falling apart. It started with Brandon losing his job. I heard it from Mom, who called sounding worried. Victoria says Brandon was let go from his company. Something about market conditions and restructuring. They are going to be fine, of course. He will find something else quickly. I said the appropriate sympathetic things and hung up, but I knew the finance industry. I had learned a lot during Tom's business building years about how companies worked and how precarious high-income jobs could be. If Brandon had been let go, it probably was not just market conditions. And finding another job at his level was not quick or easy. A month later, Mom called again. Victoria says they are cutting back on some expenses. The kids might switch schools, just temporarily, until Brandon finds something new. Cutting back, switching schools. That meant they were struggling, really struggling. I felt a small flicker of something, not quite satisfaction, more like curiosity. 2 months after that, I saw Victoria at the grocery store. She looked tired, stressed. Her designer clothes were still designer, but they were not new. Her hair was not professionally styled. She was buying store brand products. She saw me and tried to smile. "Rachel, hi, how are you?" "Good, you?" "Oh, you know, busy. The kids are so active with their schedules." Mom said Brandon is looking for work. "Any luck?" Her smile faltered. "Not yet, but soon. He has several promising leads." "That is good." We made awkward small talk for a few more minutes. Then she left quickly, like she could not stand to be around me. I finished my shopping and went home. Told Tom what I had seen. "They are in trouble," he said. "Seems like it. Are you going to reach out? Try to help?" I thought about it. About Emma crying in the car. About Victoria's text saying some lessons need to be learned about social appropriateness. About years of being looked down on. "No," I said. "I am not going to reach out." Fair enough. 3 months later, I heard from a cousin that Victoria and Brandon had put their house on the market. They were downsizing. Brandon still had not found work. They were burning through savings. The kids had switched to public school, the same public school Emma and Jake attended. I saw Madison in the hallway once when I was volunteering. She looked miserable, out of place, like she did not belong with the regular kids. I did not say anything to her, just watched her walk by, looking lost. 6 months after Brandon lost his job, they sold the house, moved into a rental that was half the size, traded in their luxury cars for used vehicles, stopped taking vacations, stopped buying designer clothes. They were living the life they had looked down on, the discount store life. And I watched it all happen with a sense of inevitability. They had built their lifestyle on appearance and debt and Brandon's high income. When that income disappeared, everything else crumbled. I did not cause it. I did not celebrate it. I just watched. And then, 7 months after Brandon lost his job, Victoria called me. I almost did not answer, but curiosity won out. "Rachel," Victoria's voice was strained. "I need to talk to you. Okay? Can we meet? For coffee? I need to discuss something important. I am pretty busy. Please." "It is about the kids. About family." I sighed. "Fine. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock. The Starbucks on Main." I showed up 5 minutes late. Victoria was already there, looking anxious. She had clearly been waiting a while. "Thank you for coming," she said as I sat down. "What do you want, Victoria?" "I need help. We need help. Brandon still has not found work. Not anything that pays what he used to make. We are running out of savings. The kids' private school expelled them because we could not pay tuition. Our landlord is threatening eviction because we are behind on rent. I am sorry to hear that. I was wrong to treat you the way I did. Wrong to say those things about Emma and Jake. Wrong to act like we were better than you. I see that now. And I am asking, I am begging, for you to help us. Help you how? Money. Alone. Just enough to catch up on rent and bills. Buy us some time to figure things out. I will pay you back as soon as Brandon finds work. I sipped my coffee. Why would I help you? Because we are family. You did not treat us like family when you turned Emma away from Madison's party. When you called my kids discount store kids. When you made my 7-year-old cry on your doorstep. I know, and I am sorry. I was horrible. I was a snob. I was wrong about everything. Please, Rachel, I am asking for your forgiveness and your help. How much do you need? 10,000, maybe 15, just to get caught up. $15,000. I know it is a lot, but you are doing well now. I heard about Tom's business, about your tutoring company. You can afford to help. I can afford it. That does not mean I am going to. Victoria's face crumpled. Please, the kids are struggling. Madison is miserable at public school. She does not fit in. Preston is being bullied. We are drowning, Rachel. I am begging you. I thought about what she said, about Madison not fitting in, about feeling out of place with kids who were different from her. That is interesting, I said, about Madison not fitting in at public school. It is heartbreaking. She is so unhappy. Emma is at that same school. She seems to fit in just fine. Of course, she has been there since kindergarten. She knows how to be friends with regular kids. She does not think she is better than them. Victoria's eyes filled with tears. I know what I did. I know what I said. I am sorry. You are sorry because you need something. If you were still rich, if Brandon still had his job, would you be apologizing? Would you even be talking to me? She did not answer. That is what I thought, I said, standing up. Good luck with everything, Victoria. Wait, please. What am I supposed to do? The same thing I did when I needed help and you turned me away. Figure it out. I left her crying in the Starbucks. A month after the coffee shop meeting, Victoria showed up at my house. I saw her through the window, standing on my porch looking desperate. Behind her in the driveway was that same luxury SUV, now with a repo notice clearly visible on the windshield. I opened the door but did not invite her in. Please, Rachel, she said immediately. Brandon lost his job. We are 3 months behind on the mortgage of the rental house. The kids' situation at school is getting worse. You have to help us. Help you? Like you helped Emma when she wanted to come to Madison's birthday party? That was different. I was trying to maintain standards. You told my 7-year-old daughter there was no room for discount store kids at your party. You made her cry on your doorstep while your friends laughed. Rachel, I apologize for that. You made excuses. You said you were protecting her from embarrassment. You said lessons needed to be learned about social appropriateness. You never apologized. I am apologizing now. I am sorry. I was wrong. I was a horrible sister and a horrible aunt, and I am so sorry. Why? Because you need something? Because you are facing eviction? Because your kids are struggling at the same public school mine have been thriving at for years? Because I finally understand what I did, how much I hurt you, how wrong I was. You understand because you are experiencing it now. Because Madison is the one who does not fit in. Because you are the one wearing last season's designer clothes and shopping store brand products. You understand because you have become what you look down on. Victoria's face was streaked with tears. Yes, okay, yes, I understand now. I was blind and arrogant and cruel, but I am begging you. I am on my knees here. Please help my family. Your family, Madison and Preston. The kids who were too good to have my discount store kids at their party. Tell me, Victoria, are they being kind to Emma and Jake at school? She looked away. That is what I thought. They learned your values. They learned to look down on people with less money. And now they are experiencing what that feels like. No, they are children. They do not deserve to suffer because I made mistakes. Emma was a child too, 7 years old. And you humiliated her because of her Target dress and her cheap sneakers. You made her feel worthless because we did not have money. I know, and I will regret that for the rest of my life. But punishing me by letting my children suffer, that is not right either. I leaned against my doorframe. I am not punishing you. I am simply not saving you. There is a difference. What difference? The result is the same. We are going to lose everything. The difference is that I am not the one who caused your problems. You caused them. You and Brandon lived beyond your means. You built a lifestyle on debt and a job that disappeared. You alienated your family with your cruelty. You created this situation. I am just not fixing it for you. But you could fix it. You have the money. Tom's business is doing well. Your tutoring company is successful. You could help us and not even feel it. Oh, I would feel it. I would feel it every time I looked at Emma and remembered her crying in the car. I would feel it every time I remembered you calling my kids discount store kids. I would feel it knowing I was rewarding cruelty and arrogance. So that is it? You are just going to watch us lose everything? Yes. What about the kids? What about Madison and Preston? They did not ask for this. Emma did not ask to be humiliated either, but she got 4 years of therapy to recover from what you did to her self-esteem. Maybe Madison and Preston will learn some empathy from this experience. Maybe they will learn that money does not make you better than other people. Maybe they will become kinder humans. Victoria's expression changed from desperate to angry. You are enjoying this. You are enjoying watching me suffer. I am not enjoying it, but I am not stopping it either. You have always been jealous of me, of my success, my marriage, my life. And now that I am down, you are kicking me. You are no better than you think I am. Maybe, but I am honest about it. I am not pretending to care while judging people for their clothes. I am not calling children discount store kids and then expecting sympathy when my life falls apart. I said I was sorry. And I said no, that is my answer. No. I will not loan you money. No. I will not co-sign your refinance. No, I will not save you from the consequences of your choices. You are heartless. No, I just learned a lesson. You taught it to me actually. Some people are not worth helping. Some people do not deserve grace or second chances. You taught me that when you turned them away from that party. I hate you, Victoria whispered. That is fine. I do not need you to like me. I just need you to leave my property. When we lose everything, when my kids are traumatized and struggling, it will be your fault. No, it will be yours. You spent money you did not have. You tied your family's welfare to Brandon's job. You taught your children to value the wrong things. I am just the person who refused to save you from yourself. Victoria stood there for another long moment, tears streaming down her face. Then she turned and walked back to her repossessed SUV. I watched her drive away, feeling nothing but peace. Victoria and Brandon lost the rental house. They moved into a small apartment in a less desirable part of town. Brandon took a job making a third of what he used to make. Victoria started working retail. The same work Megan had done when she dropped out of college. The same work Victoria had looked down on. Madison and Preston stayed at the public school. According to Emma, Madison was slowly making friends. She had stopped being snobby. She had learned to fit in with regular kids. Preston was struggling more. He was getting bullied for his past wealth, his designer clothes from before, his inability to relate to kids who had never had money. He needed therapy. My parents were furious with me for not helping. She is your sister, Mom said. How can you watch her struggle like this? She watched my daughter cry and did nothing. I am just returning the favor. You are being vindictive. I am being consistent. She set the rules. I am just following them. Family should help family. Then maybe she should have treated us like family. My parents sided with Victoria, of course. They always had. They made it clear I was being cruel and heartless. I stopped going to family gatherings. Tom, Emma, Jake, and I spent holidays on our own. It was better that way. But not everyone took Victoria's side. Some people who had been at that birthday party for years ago, who had heard what Victoria said, who had watched Emma run crying to the car, they reached out to me. You did the right thing. One mother said, I watched Victoria treat you and your daughter horribly that day. She does not deserve your help. I should have said something then, another woman said. I am sorry I did not, but you have every right to protect yourself and your kids now. It felt good to be seen. To have people acknowledge that I was not being cruel. I was being self-protective. Tom's business continued to grow. My tutoring company expanded. We were doing well enough to start saving for the kids' college funds. Emma wanted to be an artist. Jake wanted to be a teacher. We could support both dreams. Life was good, better than good, and it had nothing to do with Victoria. 6 months after I closed the door on her, I heard she and Brandon were finally stabilizing. Brandon had found a better job, still not what he used to make but enough to get by. They were managing. The kids were adjusting. I felt nothing about it. No satisfaction, no sympathy, just indifference. They had their life, I had mine, and the two were no longer connected. It has been 3 years since Victoria showed up on my porch begging for help. Emma is 14 now, confident, artistic, thriving. She does not remember the party incident with the same pain anymore. It is just a story about a time her aunt was cruel and her mom stood up for her. Did Aunt Victoria ever apologize? She asked me recently, in her way, when she needed something. That does not count. No, it does not. I am glad you did not help her. People like that, they do not change unless they have to. Maybe losing everything made her better. Maybe. Jake is 12. The same age Madison was when she had that party. We threw him a party in our backyard. Friends from school, pizza, games, a cake I made myself. It was loud and messy and perfect. No dress code, no exclusions, just kids being kids. Tom's business is thriving. He now has 6 employees and a second location. He is proud of what he built, and he should be. My tutoring company has grown too. I have 10 tutors working for me now. We help kids from all backgrounds. Wealthy families who want extra support and struggling families who need scholarships I provide through a fund I named after Emma. We are doing better than we ever imagined. And we did it without help from the people who looked down on us. I have not spoken to Victoria in 3 years. I have not spoken to my parents in 2 years. They made their choice. I made mine. People ask me sometimes if I regret it, if I think I should have helped her despite everything, if I will ever reconcile. The answer is no. Victoria had a chance to be kind. She chose cruelty. She had a chance to protect a 7-year-old's feelings. She chose status and appearances. She made my daughter cry because of Target clothes. She called my children discount store kids. She humiliated them and me because we did not fit her image of acceptable. When her life fell apart, she expected me to save her, to put aside the hurt and the damage and the pain she caused, to be the bigger person. But being the bigger person is just another way of saying accept the abuse and help your abuser anyway. I refused. I protected my peace and my children and my self-respect. That is not cruelty. That is boundaries. Victoria is stabilizing now, I hear. She and Brandon are in couples counseling. She is learning about empathy and humility. Lessons she should have learned as a child but was apparently never taught. Madison and Preston are doing better. They are learning to be regular kids, to value people for who they are, not what they wear. Maybe Victoria's downfall was the best thing that could have happened to her family. Maybe they needed to lose everything to become decent people. I do not know. I do not care. They are no longer my concern. I build a life where my children know their worth is not measured in price tags, where they understand that kindness matters more than status, where they see their parents working hard and being honest and treating people with respect. That is the life Victoria's cruelty pushed me to build, and I am grateful for it. Not grateful to her, but grateful for the motivation, for the clarity, for understanding exactly who she was and what she valued. My kids are not discount store kids. They are loved, valued, confident kids who know they are enough exactly as they are. And Victoria's kids are learning, the hard way, that money does not make you better than anyone else. My family says I should have helped my sister no matter what she said years ago. My friends say she got exactly what she deserved. What do you think? Was I wrong to refuse help after she humiliated my daughter? Or did she earn every bit of that rejection? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments below. If you believe people should face the consequences of their actions, hit subscribe. I have got more stories of justice that will blow your mind.